God's not real. Thanks.
What? You promised me?
I touch myself to guns.
Glorified Boy Scout.
I'm raw dogging life right now.
Not so controlled chaos.
9/11 is a terrible thing, bro.
Yeah, I can't
It
believe
was
our
an
own government
inside
did that
job.
to us.
They don't
I'll never
wanna.
forget.
They don't wanna admit to it, bro.
No, it was an inside job. I'm admitting to it right now.
What?
Coleman was
That 9/11
unfortunately.
was due to the government.
Yep.
At 2 years old, Coleman orchestrated and pulled off 9/11.
Indeed, I did.
At 2. 9/11 happened when we were 4.
Buddy.
I don't know how old
It's
Coleman is,
fine.
apparently.
I just went with it.
We
either
just know
way.
that you were in elementary school when it happened. Maybe even middle school. How old are you again? Not
I was in high. I think I was in high school when it happened, bro. They sat me down.
2001?
They
Yeah,
sat me
yeah.
down on my little
Damn.
nap carpet on sophomore year.
We have
they're
the
like,
token
watch
old
9/11.
guy here.
Yeah, dude. I was sitting crisscross applesauce on my nap carpet and watching 9/11 on the TV.
We should just
That's
have
so funny.
my younger cousin come on here too, and then we'll just have like 3 generations of humans just talking about shit.
Was he even alive when it happened?
9/11? No.
We're not even like 3 generations is the problem. I'm only fake old. I'm like 1 year older than you guys.
Year and a half,
That's
sir.
a completely different generation.
28, bro. It's not.
It is.
Stop capping.
Are you
I don't
95
think
or
it is.
96? Are you 95 or 96?
I'm 95, sir.
Then you are a fucking millennial,
Different
buddy.
generation.
So your cousin reached you, right?
Yeah, he's actually technically also Gen Z. He's like the last year of Gen Z.
He's funny, bro.
Is that what we are, Juan? Or are we still that weird in between spot?
Well, technically we're that weird in between spot, but we're technically Gen Zs. We're Gen
How
Z.
about me?
Yeah.
Kind of towards the end.
You're also Gen Z, buddy. Rich is younger than you, and he's the back end of Gen Z.
Oh, so I'm like the weird middle type again.
Yeah.
too?
No, you are Gen Z.
You are literally Gen Z.
Nah, brother, I'm not Gen Z, brother.
No,
I'm,
brother, you are Gen Z
Wait,
for sure.
when were you born?
me,
No. You're definitely Gen Z, brother.
bro. I was born in '96. I don't know what you guys talking about.
Shut the fuck up. Even then, you'd still be Gen Z.
Fuck.
97.
90,
You
98.
were born in 97?
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. I'm going up.
Now he doesn't even know what year he was born.
Wait,
Yeah, bro,
you
I
were born in
keep
97
forgetting.
as well, Coleman?
Yeah.
Me and Juan are the same age. We're a month apart.
Damn.
Damn, a month apart.
Yeah.
My girl's also
Gen
born in
Z,
97.
baby.
Same pack, different sex. What's up?
Yeah. We're from the Umbrella
Shut up.
Academy.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Maybe you're only gonna be good for one season.
Yep. That's all I need.
Shit, dude.
We just need that one
no.
good season. All right,
One
just
good
like
season, and people will buy it
just
for
like
the
the
name.
Huskers, brother. All right,
Yeah,
they had
it's
one good
true.
season like 30 years ago, and everybody's like, "This is their year."
This is their year, dude. It's always their fucking
That's
year.
all they need.
This is the best year they've had in like 20 years, so fuck.
I don't
Good for
know.
them.
I don't follow football. Like I said, I'm a Bears fan, and the Bears always suck. So
That's so odd to me. Why Bears? Why the Bears?
it was just my home team growing up.
Oh yeah, duh. You're from fucking Illinois. I forgot.
Yeah. So I was just like, that's who we had, so that's who I rooted for. I
It's
don't
kinda-
care enough to switch it up.
It's kind of crazy. I'm on a podcast with a bunch of Gen Zs. It's fucking wild,
Yeah, how's it feel, old man?
Yeah, it's crazy, boomer.
bro. Boomers. Boomers. Don't get me started, bro.
Dude, they're like
Read
your
that.
cousins, basically.
Don't get me started. Generation X's are
Asian
my
time,
cousins.
bro.
Excuse me.
No,
well.
it's like boomers, millennial. Like you're right there.
Okay, so there's Gen Z. I'm reading about this right now. There's Gen Z, Millennial, Generation X, Boomer. Guess what the one above Boomer's called? Like the oldest ones.
What is
The
it,
golden or
Asian?
the greatest generation. or some shit?
Silent.
Oh.
Because they're
What
always
the
silent.
fuck?
'Cause-
What a weird generation. Just called
Silent
silent.
generation goes hard.
The silent generation goes quiet because they die. The Pew
I'm
Research
pretty
Center.
sure they're already dead.
A lot of them, probably, because I think it's from the ages of like I think the youngest
That's from like
silent generation is
World War.
71.
That's the Cold War, bro.
No, like the youngest you could be is 71.
I don't know,
The fuck?
man. There was
Old is
that one
old.
chick that lived from like 1897 until like 2004 or whatever it was.
Silent
So
Generation was born between 1928 and 1945. Whoa. My parents are both fucking boomers. Knew that.
I think my
Most
mom's a millennial.
I was gonna say most people's parents are actually Generation X or Y or millennial right now, which is wild.
damn, Max, you're in the same generation as the woman who birthed Juan. That's insane.
Coincidence?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure
Damn.
because I think my mom was like in the 80s, sometime in the 80s. Yeah.
Hello, son.
So yeah,
Damn.
Yeah,
How
I would
does it
definitely
feel,
say
brother?
coincidence, but
or the
hey, man,
iGen.
whatever.
How does it feel?
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
how's
the
it feel to
greatest
be
shit.
old?
The greatest shit, dude. It feels bad. I was like every
Uh,
time. Sometimes I just move. Like I'll have a great day at the gym and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling young. I'm feeling spry. My tee's up, and then I like get in the shower and I go. Ugh, yeah, I just have to like move a certain way, and I'm just
yeah,
like, all right. I
That's
guess
that's
that's just a thing now,
that's just a sign that you're creeping up to 30, man. You're about to head over that hill.
brother.
yep.
Every time, like
When your body naturally wants to die.
I'll pop out off the couch like I'm a young boy, and I'll just crack 3 things every time. At
Yeah,
least
that's
three.
why I'm
I'm
gonna
only
die at
25.
30.
I wanted to die at 25, but I'm still chugging,
I have
unfortunately.
been picturing 30 since I was like 12. I
I
don't know what it
genuinely
is.
did not think I would live this long.
I
That seems to be a
genuinely
common
believe
thing.
I will die at 30, like before 31.
Why?
I don't
Because
Why?
know. It's just ever since I was 12, like that just I don't see myself past that age.
I don't know. You're suicidal, man.
Yeah,
I'm not
as
even
a
suicidal. Like I'm not I don't know what it is. I just
it's a
genuinely
premonition.
I don't know. Like I do not picture myself living past 31. Like that is like my cap.
I had a
Like I
similar
don't
feeling
know.
with 25, bro. I had a it actually was surreal when I made it to 26. I was like, I joked about it with people, but I legitimately did not see myself getting past 25 for like more depressing reasons when I was younger. But like at this point, I was like, oh shit, yeah, just keep going, bro.
I've never even been like
YOLO.
depressed. I just genuinely
You might
don't
be in a
see it.
premonition. You might be actually, you might be actually getting. Don't die. If you
to be
make it
fair,
past 31, you're gonna make a new timeline.
You're
I've
gonna make
never
a new
like
timeline, he says.
myself like old. Like I've never imagined myself being like old. So like even like as a kid, like I couldn't imagine myself being an adult. Like I genuinely thought I was gonna die before I turned 18. And like even now, like I can't imagine what my life is going to look like in the future. And I'm like living my life. Like so like I don't necessarily think it's because you're not gonna make it past 30. I think it's just like I don't know how to explain it, but like I don't I can because I also can't like I can't imagine what my kids are gonna look like. I don't know like I fuck, how do you put this into words without just
I
being
don't know. It's
redundant?
hard,
But
dude.
so like I can't picture what my daughter's gonna look like when she's an adult. I can't for whatever reason. Like there's no way that my mind can construct that image for whatever reason. Like I don't even know what like I can't even construct an older version of me in my mind. Even
I
now.
can't, but like I just genuinely past 30, I there's nothing. Like I don't know.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely can see myself older. I don't know if necessarily know if I want to make it there, but I can see myself older, dude. I see old Max, kind of uggo, but I'll deal with it. Now the thing is, here I'll show you a picture of what I'm gonna look like when I'm 50. And if this doesn't happen, I check out. I check out. If I'm not like this by 50, you guys hold me to this. Putting into this here right now. I need to look like that. It's a goal. It's a goal thing. You don't. If I'm not Jason Bourne, by the time I'm 50, I'm outie.
It's possible.
Retirement plan. Yeah, but yeah, dude, that's actually probably more realistic.
I've never really seen a jacked old person.
I have.
I have to. Matt Damon.
Killer Pay Young.
I used to have
Well,
this 60-year-old neighbor.
Here's my thing, right? I don't know what happened, but at some point we raised the age of what is old. Because I remember, like, growing up, I would be like, oh, dang, you're in your, like, 50s, dude? You're ancient.
I think
Now I'm like,
older.
you're in your 50s? You're not even halfway through your life yet.
Now all the
It's
Grammys
just
dressing
because
like
we got
tots
older
too,
and now
bro.
we're like, oh, we don't want to be old yet.
Yeah, I think you aged, dude.
I don't even care about aging, really. But, like, look at,
They're like, the goalposts have moved.
No, like, look at, like, a 50-year-old in the 60s compared to a 50-year-old now. Like, the way they dress, the way they look, everything. Like, they looked old in the 50s, and now they don't.
Well, that's why, like I said, like age and they don't want to age, so they try to like do things to make it seem like they're not aging. So like a lot of like older women will dress like younger women so that they feel less old, but they're still old. But I get what you mean that they look older then, but it's because they dressed more appropriately then.
Yeah, there's some man. I kind of
Yeah,
dude.
literally.
They're
Like I
giving it
literally
out.
know
Great.
grandmas that were dressed like bro. Oh my god.
Dude, I'm looking at people that were 50 in the 1950s, and Coleman's got a point. They're handing out granny gum jobs now, but like back then, these ladies were almost dead.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Well, like the quality of life back then was also a lot different.
Yeah, but they had less McDonald's, so they should look better.
Yeah, but you see what I'm seeing, though, Max?
I'm
Like,
seeing what you're
they
saying, bro.
look old. Nowadays, they don't.
Well, Botox, plastic surgery,
Well, dude,
Yeah,
even my
Dr.
own
that's
Miami.
parents,
true.
like,
That's
both
true.
my parents are in their 50s. Neither of them looks old to me.
Well, also, I think I
Better
have
food.
there's definitely look at LeBron James compared to like, and again, steroids, right? There's obviously like things you can do, but like compared to a basketball player from like the 1910s, like the most jacked basketball player from the 1910s compared to like fucking, was it basketball in the 1910s? Anyway, but like that kind of thing. Like there's just, I think it's just we're seeing people evolve. Like people are just becoming different, and style plays into it too. One for sure, like
Like
100%.
yeah, style, like
Style, plastic
medicine.
surgery.
Yeah, there's a lot
Basketball
of
was
things that
invented December 21st, 1891.
Yeah, the polio vaccine wasn't out yet. Like,
Like
yeah,
an
it's-
you know what I
idiot.
mean? Like there was a lot more famine, disease, like it was a different time, like
oh my god,
more
my
war,
grandpa,
like real war.
bro, my grandpa would talk about just like,
Yeah, why do we call this shit we do now war? It makes no sense to me. Half the time it's just drones fighting
it's
each other.
efficient. No,
It's just not even that. Most of the wars nowadays are wars and it's just fucking old men arguing with each other. It's not even like anybody fucking going to war. It's just I hate you and you hate me and fucking fuck you and fuck you.
it's kind of just grandstanding for power and money and getting innocent people killed because of it. Which it used to be similar, but
Wasn't he
also
like-
it was I don't know, like I wouldn't say the stakes were higher because they just weren't. Because technically the stakes are higher now than they've ever been, and that just always happens because, yay, we made nukes. But like, it definitely felt more like the person. Like Hitler wasn't just a
we
dude
talking about
that
Hitler?
was like he wasn't one of those argumentative old guys that was trying to prove that he's not like old and dying like
That's
Putin.
what I mean. Yeah.
No,
Bye,
he
bye, bye,
was that motherfucker was a bad guy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, here's the thing. I think something happened
Wasn't he like Jewish or
at
something?
some point because
Part
before he
Jewish or
invaded
some shit like
Poland,
that? Yeah.
I think he
Polish?
genuinely just wanted Germany to be the best. I think something happened to him. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it was the drugs. I don't know what it was because at one point he was a very good leader, but then something got twisted up in his mind
They don't want.
and he just went fucked. like if you actually read up about him a little bit, like he was a
Some
very good
sort of like
strategist.
trauma, past trauma, maybe.
Something happened in it. Yeah, something happened in his mind. Good for you to pop up now, Tony. Something happened in
I
his
like how
mind.
Tony. My favorite thing is that Tony was like saying what I was thinking, but he's like, "Oh, Hitler, good strategist." Hmm. He
Hitler?
he's Polish, yeah.
But yeah, like something happened to him and it just fucked his mind up. I don't know what it was, but like I don't
I
know.
think I think it's like what we were talking about last time on the podcast, where there's like people that are sometimes they're just innately evil. I think that can spring on you
Just
at
out of the blue?
maybe not out of the blue. There's probably like we'll probably find
Just
out
like
later,
fuck it.
like
No.
exactly what causes it, because we
Well,
already have
I think
exactly we already have we have
Yeah,
a
I can
pretty
say
good
that.
idea of what causes like
I
crazy people, but specifically him, it could have just been like he was always sort of evil, and it just took like
In their
there's
own
like a
way.
switch that flips, you know.
That
I
damn
think
art's
that
cool.
everyone's kind of evil.
Oh, there's no
Nah, I'm
such thing as
chilling.
a good person.
Yeah, I
There
think
is
that
no such
everyone
thing
is
as a good
evil. It's
person.
just it takes somebody like a certain point for them to bring that side out. You know what I mean? Some people don't give a fuck and are always evil, and some people like try to be good people for the most part. And then eventually some trigger like obviously some triggering event or like trauma will happen and they just turn that side off and be evil.
Like Superman when Lois dies, bro.
But I think that it's like yeah, so like every day everybody deals with like morality of everything. So like everyone's kind of evil.
I think some people are evil. I don't know. It depend. Even evil is a fucking. It's an interesting. How we would define that would be wild. Because we I don't know. I think some people are innately good. I just don't. I don't think it's a blanket thing. You know. I don't think everyone's like either good or evil. I think it just can happen. Whether it's environmental. I mean, we've already proved some things like environmental factors and things like that. But I just it's so interesting to me that I definitely think there's just some incredibly good people on this planet, despite of everything, despite of anything they might go through, despite of the world just pushing them around. I don't know.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's just but it's their will. Like it's a matter of will. How strong is your will to be that way for so long? You know what I mean? Like even like evil people get tired of being evil.
Nah, Cain was like, I'll be evil, I'll kill some evil. Isn't like that the Cain and Abel story is really interesting to me. But isn't the thing, and you can correct me on this, Coleman, because I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I just heard someone talk about the Cain and Abel story, but is
Jesus.
the thought that then every like killer Cain came from Cain after that point? Like they
Like
God
were
damn.
descendants of Cain.
no, I don't think he had kids.
Like I don't know. I guess I heard that part too from the same book, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
But then again, like somebody
Like
like
Oh no, I
spiritual,
lied to you.
like
Enoch was one of his kids. I
so
forgot
like
about that.
I was gonna say I didn't know if it was like physical descendants or like spiritual descendants or whatever, since Cain and Abel.
He had 4 sons: Enoch, Olad, Lizpah, and Fossil, and 2 daughters, Cynthia and Mac. Died at the age of 730. I thought
Wow,
he was what?
10 foot tall.
No.
Oh.
I
man,
thought he
people lived
was
too long back then.
The
I
oldest
thought he
guy in
was
the Bible was
25.
like 927 or something like that.
McDonald's is holding us back, bro.
No, there's actually so when the Great Flood happened, it took a shit ton of
Wait, right there.
oxygen out of the air, and our bodies had to adapt to it, and so our lifespan shortened. There's like a scientific reason as for why we live such short lives now.
Were we bigger too? That'd be dope.
yeah, because of the
Well,
fact
there
that
was
there's less
Nephilim and everything
oxygen.
else, and yeah,
Yeah.
like giants were a real race of people.
That was just
Like,
humans, bro. If there was enough oxygen in there, we couldn't be this small.
Yeah.
yeah,
Bro.
like
Dude,
everything.
Jesus was
There's
like 10 foot tall.
well, that's why like dude, if you actually start reading the Bible and like looking up scientifically like what was going on, like a lot of stuff makes sense. Like there were giants, there were like the Nephilim were real things, like the spawns of like demons and humans. And I'm like, that's where I think like a lot of the like Greek mythology comes from. Is
I think
like
Greek
these demon
mythology
people were just
predates
like
that
not really. When you consider like the Great Flood and everything
Catholicism,
else.
or sorry, Christianity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I think
don't
Greek
know religion
mythology
as
predates
that.
Well, Greek
But
Christianity.
yeah.
mythology, yes, but I'm talking about like the Nephilim. So when God kicked Satan out of heaven, a bunch of the like previous angels went with him,
Oh no, I see what you're saying. Okay, you're
and they
saying that
became the Nephilim.
like Greek mythology was an interpretation of what then became.
Yeah,
Okay, I get what you mean.
like that's where the lesser deities
Uh,
come from and all that stuff.
Interesting.
I have a question. So you know those religions that like don't allow for like certain medical procedures like blood transfusions or like uh transplants and stuff like that?
so it's
I think like Jehovah's Witness doesn't allow shit like that, or like there's certain religions that will not allow you to have certain medical procedures done because it goes against like the will of God
Yeah.
or whatever.
Like soaking.
Yeah,
But
shaking the bed.
how do you feel about that? Like, how does that like? Do you think that that makes sense?
No.
The ban of it? I don't
Like,
personally. So scarification is a sin, and oh, it was like tribal markings or something. It's the same thing where people are like, tattoos are a sin, and I'm like, no, it's not. I
I
don't
mean
remember
more.
what it is.
I mean more along the lines of like, let's say for example, like you have this like an infection, right? And instead of going to the doctor because you're very religious, you sit there and you pray that God will heal you. How does that like does that make sense? Like do you think that that's entire like even possible? Like do you think that you could just pray disease away, or do you believe that doctors exist because God created them? You know what I mean?
I think it's a
Like
mix. Because I do know people who like they went to doctors, nothing like they had cancer, they had stage 4, like they were gonna die. And then genuinely, it's like overnight the cancer just disappears. And I know people who could like they had an itch and they went in and they were like early
yeah.
stages of cancer, and so the doctors were able to remove it. I
I
don't
think
I
and that's
don't
what
think I have any authority to talk on that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like a cop out, and I'm not trying to make it a cop out, but like, I don't want to tell you the wrong shit. Like, I don't want to
no,
lie to
that's
you.
fair.
here's
I think
here's
Like,
like here's
I think we're
a
entering in like
scenario.
the.
I'll give you a
Sorry,
scenario
Wonka.
because I just experienced this the other, like not me personally, but like I know somebody that so basically I know somebody that got like an infection on their toe, right? Which would have been a simple solution of going to urgent care, getting the antibiotics to put on the infection to make the infection go away, right? And in that case, like God made the doctor for that reason, right? Like for them to be able to give you the antibiotic to heal your ailment, right?
yeah,
Because you would have caught it early enough, like you just said. But due to your negligence and your blind faith in God, you sat there and thought, oh, I'll just pray this infection away. And
no, I
instead,
think they're an
the
idiot.
infection fucking spreads. And now you had to be rushed to the hospital and had 3 of your toes amputated,
I think they're an idiot. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So here's my thing that I get in trouble with a lot. I don't think there's anything on Earth that we're not allowed to like use, if that makes sense. So
Mm.
It
like
wouldn't really make
drugs.
sense otherwise, right?
Well, okay, God created everything, correct? So I'm
Mhm.
like, there's drugs here. He just says be sober minded, right? So if you can smoke a blunt and be sober minded, you're not sinning in my eyes.
Yeah.
If
You
you
have
can like, if you can hit a line of cocaine and still be like functional, I
yeah,
don't
not a bad
consider that a
person.
sin.
So
Like, I just don't. Because I take the Bible very literally, and it says sober minded. So as long as you're still soberly like conscious, I think you're
functional,
good.
kind of like when
Uh,
people smoke
I
and then they
also
act
think,
retarded. That's kind of
Yeah,
like
that's excessive. You're
yeah.
not sober minded at that point.
yeah, I think like I get in so much trouble with my parents for this because I'm like, the weed to me is a relaxation drug. Like, it helps people decompress. I don't see anything wrong with it as long as they don't like do it in excess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just like my cigars. Like, they help me relax. So like, I don't know, because I don't know, man. Like, he put everything here for a reason. Like, we have doctors for a reason. Like,
Exactly.
I really love the saying of like, you can't expect God to do all the work. Like, you have to make the first step. Like, you can't like cut your arm off and just sit there and be like, God, please help me with this while you're just bleeding out.
Unless you're a lizard person.
Well, unless you're just an idiot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think,
use what you have, right?
dude, I
And I'm
love a
not
lot of.
saying use God as like a last resort. Like, no. You should be talking to God throughout the whole process. However, don't just sit there while you're like in pain and be like, God, why isn't this healing? I haven't done anything yet. Why isn't anything getting better? Like, I hate that.
I quite enjoy a lot of your takes on Christianity too. It's a really cool perspective because, like, you don't just have you're not even closed minded about your own religion, which is refreshing. Like, you're very and open to not just interpretation, but like
Well, I
using
don't think I'm
your
religious at
own.
all.
You're like using your own views to like extrapolate what it could mean instead of just going with literally what it says, which is the silliest thing in the world to do with anything.
Well,
And
that's
like
what I do. I literally just read what it says, and it
and
makes
that's
sense in my mind.
that's the thing that most like churchgoers don't do. Like a lot of people that go to church have never read the Bible from beginning to end. They just listen to whatever random excerpt the fucking priest or father is deciding to fucking read at the moment, and then he gives you his biased ass opinion on what he thinks that it means, when really all you have to do is read the actual entire story that it came from to actually have context to understand what it truly means. You know what I mean? But people don't do that. They don't read the book. They only like listen to the shit that they're told.
Well, it's like, okay, so my parents' church, they're a good church, right? I don't think there's any such thing as like a actually like great church or anything, like, or like a perfect church.
Yeah.
They pick and choose a lot of stuff, right? So like when my parents were going through some stuff with their marriage and everything, uh, I don't know what I can say and what I can't. Basically, like people were just picking and choosing scripture, uh, to try and justify the way they were acting, right? Like,
Mm,
but if you read the whole passage, it would have solved the whole problem, if that makes
literally.
sense.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I mean. Like you can't just take a part of a story and just be like, yeah, this is why like that a lot of religious people are hypocritical for that reason. Like they're like, "Oh, well, like this little subsection of this story proves that like it's okay for me to be acting this way." But then you read the rest of the story and it's like, "Oh, at the end of the day, he realized he's not supposed to be acting that way and he was wrong." You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the other thing too, is there is a lot of contradiction. Not, I shouldn't say that because that's not really true. There's
There's a
You
little.
also have to take, well, you have to take into context the era that the Bible is being taken place in. Like the Old Testament is not what we go by anymore, right? We
Yeah,
go by the New.
2020. Yeah, 2024. I feel like most religious people wouldn't want. They wouldn't under. They would be really upset by the Old Testament because it's like fucked up.
Oh, it is. Like
But it,
that's just what it is.
but it's part
But
of the story.
yes. But there's a
Just in
lot
that
of
time frame.
churches that will like take a lot of stuff from the Old Testament because it benefits like priests, stuff like that. And it also helps guilt trip people into like tithing, which I don't think is right. Um, and so there's a lot of churches that just pick and choose from the Old Testament instead of reading the New Testament, which is what we're supposed to be living by. It's called the New Testament for a reason.
Right.
Like,
You read the old to understand like your history, like the history of it, and then you live by the new because it's the New
yes.
Testament.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like also like reading something that you either don't quite agree, like reading something you disagree with isn't bad. It's like you want to see people's perspective back then.
Yeah, absolutely. You should want perspective so that you can have more understanding yourself.
Yeah, you might
Well,
close the book and be
that's
like, "Whoo, that was that was interesting," but you now understand.
dude. Well, like I get in arguments all the time with churches that I like just go to visit because I'm like, "What's your stance on like the gays?" And they're like, "They're going to hell." And I'm like, "No, that's not that. That has nothing to do with that. Like, you got to get out of the old mindset and just literally read the book, right? Like, sin is sin. That is just what it is. Just because one person chooses one sin over another sin doesn't mean they're going to hell automatically. Because like me just sitting here getting angry at people because like I'm just having a bad day, that is a sin. Right? So like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff with churches. That's why I say I'm not religious. I just read the Bible. Because I don't like religion. Like it's just a big business and it's stupid.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
you have
mean,
your
you
own
don't have to go to
interpretation.
church to be a religion, though. To be
that's
Christian, I
true.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Well,
say
yeah, you're right.
you're definitely religious. You're just not. You just don't
You're not a follower of the
subscribe.
church.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't subscribe to their. Yeah,
They're
which
I guess
is
they're common beliefs that aren't technically
are their
correct.
actions.
Well, like the
Yeah.
way I look at it is like I just read the book, right? I just take it at face value and that's what I roll with. So
Yeah, it
like
sounds
I don't like if
you
anything
like.
I'm just a follower of Christ. Is
Yeah,
like
there you go.
the really the best
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
to put it.
Yeah, well, you take all that, and then you also inject your
I
own
mean,
intuition, common sense, and empathy into it as well, and then you
And
collectively create your own. I would say your own religion, but your own view point of everything based on that.
yeah, and like I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, I'm a good Christian. Like, no, I'm not.
You're a
right.
good Coleman.
No, I try to be good, but at the end of the day, like I'm just not. Like I'm human. Like I
After
don't
We all
know.
all,
sin at some point.
But like that's the beautiful thing about God though is like he doesn't sit there and say like, no, you got to meet these requirements. You literally just have to believe in him and like believe his son came down here and died for your sins and like it's really just that simple. Like the more you read, the better of a person you want to become just because you want to. Like he gives you the rule book and all it's going to do is better your life.
And
Like I don't know.
if anything, like most people, like everybody should not be religious that is religious, and they should be, like you just said, a follower of Christ. Like follow the word instead of like follow the actual word instead of the random words that are coming from some random dude that started a church for fucking a tax write off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
true.
it's because I'm the same way, bro. Like I've read the Bible, like, and I probably should get a new one so I can continue reading it because it really is like a very good like baseline, like a guideline to live by. Like if you live, I guess, like a holier life in a sense, like because you're following Christ, right? You would a lot of the times be far happier than you are. You probably wouldn't have like as many like we've talked about before, financial problems. Like it really is like a good like base guideline for life.
Well, and like to kind of tie this into the depression stuff, like when I start getting stressed out about stuff, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I half the time I'm just like, "Hey God, this one's on you," and I quit worrying about it. And like
Hey God,
probably
it's Coleman.
well, literally 9 times out of 10, dude, the problem just solves itself. And I'm like, thanks. Like I just quit worrying about it. I'm
And
like,
it
whatever.
really is always that simple. Like, and that's the thing. Like, problems are always temporary. A lot of the like, and it's only a problem as long as you allow it to be a problem.
Yeah. Like, and I don't know if I'm just mentally tricking myself, but I literally just sit there and I'm like, all right, God, this one's like on you, dude. Like I can't do anything.
I
And
think
I
that's
just
what the
like dump it out of my system. I'm like, all right, I can't do anything.
I
You're
think that's what
just
the
Nine
human
times
brain
out of
is.
10, it just works. Huh?
We are just like mentally tricking ourselves. That's like that's our whole existence. I think you're right.
I also think that science was created to prove like the Bible correct. Like I think
Yeah.
people started making like creating like so the argument you can't be scientific and religious is completely
You
bullshit.
100% can be.
Yes, you can. Like 100%.
Yeah.
Like I agree with you.
Well,
Because
science was before the Bible for sure.
What?
okay,
But not before
Conspiracy.
religion and God, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah,
every.
like religion ever.
that's yeah,
100%, you're
that's
right.
what I'm saying.
Yes.
So like
Like,
I think that science was created to prove like religion, like to so that they can like okay, like we need to find out how this is even possible. And because it's everything that anything that you can imagine with some limitations is possible. Like realistically, like you could at this point in time, you could biologically engineer like dragons if you wanted to. Like it's possible. Like you could.
They should. It
But
would be
like
What?
cool.
It's possible.
anything, huh?
It's not possible.
Oh, it for sure is.
Oh no.
More people need to believe in things.
Yeah. Like the tinfoil guys are usually right. The tinfoil hat guys, usually they're on to something.
I'm a
The
big believer
hippies with
in.
the
Sorry,
with
Tony, go
drugs.
on. Who?
That's right. The one with the tinfoil.
Like the conspiracy theory believers,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I believe that they are usually on to some kind of, like, they have something there. Like there's a basis to what they're saying.
Or they're mentally unstable.
Yeah, but like look at
Everyone's
Alex
mentally
Jones.
unstable.
Not all of them though.
Look at
Some
Alex
of 'em.
Jones. He's been right about a lot of stuff. A lot of dumb stuff, but a lot of stuff.
Everyone is mentally unstable.
Yeah. I don't think there's such thing as mental stability.
Not in this day and age.
No, I don't think ever. Like
Not
there's
because
always
these
just been
goddamn Gen
problems.
Alphas.
Shut up, Boomer. What do you mean?
Oh, they don't even have brains, bro. Them bitches got rotted out like by the time they were 4 because of how much YouTube they watched.
Yeah, Tony.
I watch so much
I don't watch
YouTube, dude.
YouTube.
No, you just
I'm a
watch
boomer.
TikTok all day.
Yeah,
Well, it
you're right.
evolved into TikTok. Now they're fucking in middle school watching TikToks and fucking making it worse. They have a
Mhm.
3-second attention span.
I think
Now
Vaughn
there's
sounds like the
Skibbity
biggest
toilet at Walmart.
dude at NFM. I'm bringing it in there. I'm gonna bring him a
Don't
plushie for all of you.
don't. We don't need.
We need more mental stimulation and educational nourishment for the children, for the youth.
Yeah,
We
why don't
it's
people look stuff up anymore?
well, it's definitely mental stimulation. All that shit. That's all that is. That's just mental stimulation. But
Well, like that's
none of
why I
it's.
followed it with educational nourishment.
I was gonna. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say like none of it's educational at all.
But like, what happened to these kids where they just quit? Like, they quit asking questions. Like, why did that stop?
I think that was part of the program, bro. Because the less questions they ask, the easier it is for them to be like an obedient dog.
That's fair. Yeah.
I think we might be Socrates in it right now. Is it Socrates with that quote that you brought up a long time ago, Coleman? I think we just are perceiving it from the generation
Yeah.
above. So we're just gonna kind of like this is always just gonna happen. Until we get proven like someone's gonna get proven right and all of society will end because we're all just a bunch of mindless zombies. But we could be relatively mindless zombies, and we are in a lot of ways to our ancestors. Like we don't do anything ourselves. We don't we don't hunt our own meat. We just sit here and things just come to us basically. We just give them fake money we earn from doing comparatively relatively nothing. Like what I do compared to what my grandpa did, like I'm a fucking pussy, dude. Like it's not
Soft
even
Dan. You got
close.
soft
I
Dan.
got soft as fuck, dude. My
And like,
great grandpa came from Ireland, probably fucking potato famine. Jesus Christ.
so
We're the pussies.
well, most of yes, I agree too. Most people are, yeah, for sure. Um, and that's for a reason. There's so much. So like growing up, I always felt like I was always an odd man out. Like I've never really thought the same way that other people think. That's like, again, I'm gonna reiterate the fact like that's why I wanted to start doing this so that I can get other people's perspectives on shit. Because like even when I was a kid, bro, like I said, I was an odd man out. I I didn't relate to any of the kids. I'm not super into uh like pop culture and all that shit. Like I don't give a fuck about any of that shit like at all. Like whatsoever. I don't give a fuck like who's dating who or none of that shit. Like sometimes it'll pop up on my like social media when I am on it and it's funny, you know, like every once in a while, but like I don't deep dive into like a lot of like pop culture things and shit like that. So I've never really related to like anybody my age or like most anybody anyway because they get so like immersed in this shit that doesn't fucking matter. Like, who gives a fuck who Lady Gaga fucked and if she has a dick and a penis, like, or and a pussy? You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like, I don't. Like, and I never did. Like, so I
I
think
think a
that,
lot of people our age share your perspective, though. Juan.
Yeah, I'm
and,
like
and
that
like
too.
that's good. Like, I'm glad because like well, not at the time. Like, this is what I was talking, like I was trying to get at, because you were saying like the whole Socrates thing, like we were looking at it from like an adult perspective as a child. I was looking at these children all around me as a child from an adult's perspective. Like, you guys are all fucking stupid, like dumb as shit. Like, when everybody started wearing skinny jeans and shit, bro, like I was just like, why are you doing this?
It
You know how
sounds like you
stupid.
were just emo. No, I'm kidding.
You said what?
I said it sounds like you were emo.
Well, definitely, like I've explained before, like I didn't come from like the best upbringing, so like I didn't really care to be alive. For sure, probably was emo, but I didn't dress in all black and like was a fucking weirdo. I just did my own thing because I don't care. Like, I've never really cared. Like, people my age were always kind of stupid to me growing up, like always, until I got to high school and like I've met people who were actually more mature and intelligent, and I would kick it with them more than I would kick it. Like, I would still hang out with my friends that played football and shit like that, but I had my own little group of friends that were like, in a sense, like-minded, but not necessarily, because like my opinions and views were a lot different than theirs. They were just also intellectual and like could stimulate my mind in other ways that my fucking football friends and shit couldn't, because a lot of them were just kind of stupid.
I think sometimes like some of them are just putting on a persona too. They might be incredibly intelligent. They just don't really care to share that with you
And like,
because it doesn't really benefit their social
Coming
network.
from an
Like it doesn't.
ex-football player,
and that's
there's not a lot of them that are like really
No,
intelligent.
no,
Like
no.
the
yeah.
people that like, Juan's looking
But
for,
there
they're
are
just
some.
Like, there are. I'm not saying that there wasn't. I'm saying a majority of the kids on the team, they're pretty stupid. Like, they're very intelligent kids, obviously. Like, there's kids that go to college and fucking end up like making shit of themselves that were
but they're not
playing football.
intelligent in the way that you're looking for,
But
though.
yeah, what I'm
Is
saying is
like
like they're just mindless bots to the system, right? So like they're still like following all the trends. They're still fucking like mimicking everybody else. Like, they're followers. They're not true leaders, if that makes sense. And like I've always kind of like tried to find leaders, because like, how do you? I don't want to be a follower. There's no reason you should want to follow other people's. You should be paving your own path in life, and everybody should be living this way. You shouldn't be walking, like, to a certain extent. You can walk on the path already paved for you, but you should veer off at some point and explore and learn more. Like, you know what I mean?
you gotta find
And
out who you are.
right, and most people don't. Most people follow this like basic path that was like set out for them by either their family or like the system that they were institutionalized by, whatever it is. And I think that there should be more free thinking, and there's a huge lack of that nowadays. And that's like what I was trying to get at. So like, in a young age, I would see these kids like not being free thinkers, like being followers, and it was kind of irritating to me as a child. So like, I was kind of like, I had friends, but I didn't relate to any of these kids really, because I just kind of always thought that it was kind of dumb to do that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I
like, I've
never
always,
understood all the trends. Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
right?
You're just wasting time for no reason.
For online validation and gratification, it just makes no sense. Like, just hang out with people in real life that bring true value to your life.
Mm-hmm. Well, you should.
Other,
I don't know, man. You should want to surround yourself with people that, like you said, kind of like they stimulate you. Not like that, but like
yeah, that too though.
I knew you were gonna say something, bro. But no, like I
It's
don't
because
know.
it's
They
a
help you
comedy
grow.
podcast.
Like they make you think about just everything. Like you should want people who force you to like think outside the box and to grow as a human being. Like you need to be changing every single day, or you're just wasting time.
And they'll slip a
Absolutely.
thumb in every once in a while.
Like I don't know, man. Like I just don't want to be the same person I was yesterday. Like I want to know something new. I want to be a better version of myself some way. Like the Japanese say 1% growth is better than no growth, right? And I firmly believe that. Even if you just grow by like 0.5% a day, you're still growing.
And
That's
even
what
just having that mentality, you're already doing better than like a majority of the population.
Yeah, that's so huge even when you're just trying to like accomplish small goals too. Like in general, when you're trying to like say you're trying to work out or whatever and get better, almost everyone hits a brick wall when they go to the gym because they see other people that are stronger than them, that are like better looking than them, that have been working hard. But what they did that you're not going to do if you stop is they didn't care about anyone else. They just want to be better than themselves. And that can be a detriment too. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you can, that whole thing of being like, I want to be better and better and better can be a fucking bottomless pit for sure. But you just have to know how to gauge it. Like
Well, and
that Japanese saying, the 1%, that's perfect because you're not trying to be like, you're not trying to be better than yourself in every way every day. You're just trying to be a little bit better. Like, how can I improve? How can I? Oh, I dipped a little today. How can I make that better tomorrow?
well, and that's the thing too. Like, I don't know, man. You should just be wanting to grow. Like, I don't know
I
why
do.
all these
I want to be 6 foot.
they get stuck in the little like. I hate to say rat race, but like it's really just the best word for it. Like they go to work, they mindlessly do their job, and they go home and they just mindlessly waste their day. Like they don't ever like look anything up. They don't ever read anything. Like they don't look for new sources of information. They just are like stuck being like they're just content with like nothingness kind of. Like if that makes any kind of sense.
No. I think that's
That's
a really good
scary
point,
to
dude.
live on, bro.
That's
It's
the
scary 'cause
majority
most
of
people do
everyone
that.
around us.
I'll be scared just to do that. Not do nothing after work.
It's
Well, I'm
cool. It's
telling you, bro.
dude.
Huh?
That's why I'm doing like that's why like that's why this exists, bro. So that like there's for one like we're like vocalizing a lot of the things that like we believe and like shit and like it's good for that. Like that's good for you mentally to like do. But two, like I said,
Yeah.
to gain perspective, to learn, to like understand others, like that's entirely why I created this. Like yeah, like it's so that we could shoot the shit and have fun and everything like that. But like I made this for more perspective. Like I said, like as a kid, I was always kind of like secluded because I didn't understand everybody else around me because I thought very differently from them. And so now, like the fact that there are other people that can either think similar to the way that I do, or like just even have like perspective, like and opinions, like I'd love to like gather all of them so that I can either one formulate new opinions or just have new information that I can base like my beliefs that I already have off of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's just stimulating, you know?
Yeah,
Like
dude,
I've
it
already
feels.
looked up like 18 things this whole conversation just because I'm like, whoa, what is this actually like? What are they talking about? Like, where is this going?
I'm on the
Like,
Wikipedia page for the Bible right now, reading about this shit.
You could
well,
just
it's like,
read
you
the
know,
Bible because the
yeah,
Wikipedia
you
page. No, I'm
could.
just saying.
You could just read the Bible,
I
but
mean,
I'll bring you
Wikipedia
a
is a
Bible,
very.
Max.
Oh, yeah, I
You
was
want
gonna say
one?
we can get you a
Spiritual.
Bible, Max. That's not
Max, I have like
I
4 or
don't.
5
I'm not
Bibles.
gonna
Do you
read.
want
I'm
one?
not gonna read
You know, you know who also
a paper
my
book.
my grandma does missionary things, bro. She got like thousands of books.
That's cool.
Hell yeah. I want to go like, go around and,
You want to be a
do
missionary?
what
That'd be
she does.
fucking cool.
No, just do no, not full time, bro. She's full time.
I don't think Tony would like being a missionary.
He'd
Bro,
be a missionary,
bro,
but with Doritos.
I'm not that rich to go around the world, but like every fucking
It's not even
year.
that. You go to very poor areas,
My
like
son,
low
have you
hygiene,
tried?
like you're not gonna
Yeah.
have anything like fun to do. You're literally helping these people build a community and grow.
Bro, he'd be like, my son,
Yeah.
have you tried nacho cheese?
Yeah, he'd take a bag of Doritos over there, and those kids would have a heart attack. They'd be
They'd be
like, "What is
blessed.
this?"
Oh
They'd
my
be blessed,
god,
bro.
bro. We have fucking Dorito chips over
Wait till they
there
find
and
Cool
some.
Ranch, dude.
Bro, we do
It's
have Cool
over.
Ranch over there. Ew, they probably have
Tony,
the
you're
Cool
from a
Ranch.
civilized area. They're like missionaries go out to like literally like the tribes in the forest and stuff like that.
I know.
Like those are the
I
kind of
know.
people a lot of those missionaries are trying to reach.
Yeah, but they can go out of the forest and get fucking Doritos if they
Yeah,
wanted
you're
to,
not
Tony.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No,
Also, there's
Tony's only gonna
there's
go to places that have
there's
never
poor
tasted
people.
Doritos.
Guys, I
This
think we need to
dude.
do a missionary trip to Japan. Really?
I think they need us.
There.
I think there's some
What's their
people that need
I
religion?
talking
don't
to.
Like,
think that
are
you'd
they
be going there to
Christian?
be spreading word, Coleman. You'd
I
be spreading
certainly
something
wouldn't.
else.
I would. I
I
would as
certainly
well.
wouldn't, but we could say we are.
Yeah. I say we
What's
keep
the
Remember when I
that.
said
religion over
I'm
there?
not a good Christian? Like, you know what I mean?
We could get some funding. Be like, we gonna go over there and spread the good word of.
Yes, sir.
This dude.
I heard they have a
We're going
population
over to
issue. We're
Japan
here
to
to
spread
spread
the
the good
good word
word.
of the Lord, homie. This is what we need to
fool.
get the Japanese people involved in the local community and church, homie.
Hey, fool, you want to talk about Jesus?
Hey, fool. Today we're going to be talking about Jesus Christ, homie.
I still think we need to do it, Juan. We need to open up a church.
Our Lord and Savior, He did everything. He sent His Son, Jesus Christ Himself, down to die for our sins.
It sounds
Just
like
for you,
that.
fool.
Pretty bold move there, Cotton. We'll see how that one plays out.
It'll play out fine.
It did. They won. Jesus won.
Yep.
But he lost.
He always does.
But he won.
Well,
I
he
think-
won, and then he lost, and then he won again
Yeah.
when he beat the guy who well, I don't know. He won, and then he won, and then he won. Really?
I think Jesus is probably still fighting chaos in the warp. If I had to guess, that would be my religion. Like no cap, that would probably be my religion.
On
Warhammer.
God, no
Wow.
cap.
Warhammer?
On God. Warhammer, dude. Such a cool. I would just.
I need to read up more on Warhammer. I found out there's a Warhammer store right by our house.
Yeah, there's.
I haven't been to the
there
one in
for
Omaha.
a while.
It's fucking cool. I think my religion would be either Warhammer or coincidence. The religion of coincidence. Dude, I think Juan's Mexican Joker. He's either going to become Mexican Joker or he's going to become the hero we need.
He already is the hero we need.
The
He
thing
saved
is that
Gotham.
I'm Batman. I can't be a hero. I would have to be a villain, bro, because I feel like if like let's say I did come to like the point in my life where like I could actually make changes in the world, like if I was to become like a celebrity and like have millions and millions of dollars that I would realistically have no way of spending, as soon as I started making a change in the world, I would get killed.
Yep.
And then they would try to like flip it to make me sound like some kind of bad guy when I was dead.
Yep.
Yeah, I bet, dude.
They don't want actual change in the world.
They would try to kill you. You'd fake your death,
Wouldn't
become
try.
Mexican Joker.
What is he?
That's a
Definitely
South Park reference, by the way.
if I was
Yeah, I
like
know.
if there was like an assassination attempt on me, I would definitely probably like Coleman said, probably try to like fake my death and like come back as like a fucking vigilante.
Oh, you're talking about what Max said?
Batman?
Oh yeah, my Max. I would like definitely not Joker. Like I guess like depending on how you look, I guess I'd be the Joker to like the people that try to kill me.
That's what the Joker is, though.
Well, dude, I literally just had this talk with Lane today because he was like, "What would you do if you had superpowers?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'd be a villain, dude. Like, there's no point in trying to like
Oh,
be a
hell
good
yeah.
guy. Like, just do whatever you want. Like, basically the same way I live right now. I just do whatever I want."
But wouldn't that
And
affect your morals? Like the ones you've instilled upon yourself? Like you would have that power to do all those
like,
awful things, but you wouldn't do it because of like God or like because of your own moral
so
stand.
here's the thing, right? I really am a big fan of chaos because it doesn't affect me. Like, I like to see stuff happen and then like kind of back out of the picture. So
a
like,
heretic.
not really, kind of. I don't know. Basically, what I would do is I would pit the Catholic Church against the LGBTQ, and then step away and just watch everything burn.
This dude, that's.
Dude, I'm texting the Emperor right now. This is fucking wild.
That is like what I would do if I had superpowers of some kind. I don't even know what powers I would have, to be honest with you, that I would need to cause that to happen. I just think it would be great to watch.
I have a terrible what's it called? Fucking my brain is shut off for the day. I'm so tired. Not hero mentality. It's worse. It's dumb.
Hero complex.
Yeah, that might be it. I think that's it. Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
see the point in
Like where you
trying to
feel
be
the
a
need
hero.
to like help everybody that
I would.
could
If I
need
had
help.
superpowers, I would help people for sure. I would definitely go out of my way to become the most. I mean, I guess it would depend what power I have, right? If my power is like shooting water from my hand, I don't know if I'm gonna be helping many people, but
It's like I
You could
said,
be a
bro. I'd be like
firefighter.
Robin Hood. So like, depending on
but what if it's
who
just a
you're
tiny bit of
asking,
water?
I'd be a villain, and depending on who you were, like the
Yeah.
other point, they would see me as a hero.
Make that so.
All right, next topic.
It was like Earthman or something.
Yeah. Everybody dies.